Hello guys, welcome to this video. So in this video, I will show you how to fetch random users data such as email, phone number, location, this avatar URL from a random user API that I will show you. So whenever you click the button, a random user will be popping in inside your React.js application. And in this way, you'll be making a simple HTTP call to the REST API where they actually fetch this random user and show these details inside your browser. And for this interface, we are actually using Bootstrap, specifically React Bootstrap, for actually building the user interface. So all the source code will be given in the description. So now let's get started. So before that, let me introduce to the API. So if you just type random user API or simply go to this user, random user me. So random user me API, just type this. We are using this API, random user generator. So it's a simple free API, open source API for generating random user data, and we will use this endpoint. So now to get started, I will just make a simple functional component. And right here at the very top, we do need to install two additional packages. First is your React Bootstrap and Bootstrap. So specifically for building the user interface. So just install these two packages. I've already done that. So I will just start the development server. So right here, we need to actually import Bootstrap and the specific components required. So we are importing the card component, button, spinner, container, row, column, and we are also importing the Bootstrap CDN. So after you import that, we need to declare some state variables. We need to keep track of the user which will be displaying. So for this, we'll be using the useState hook. Initial value will be null, and the second one will be for showing the loading progress bar. For this, we will again be using the useState hook. Initial value will be true. So now right here, we will actually use the useEffect hook, which will automatically be executed whenever you load your React.js applications. So by default, we will load a function. We will execute this function, which will be fetch random user. So inside this function, we will fetch the user and we'll define this function fetch random user. So right inside this function, we will actually make a simple HTTP REST API call. So let me make this function as async, and first of all, let me change the set loading to true, and then inside its try catch block, so for the loading progress bar, just make initial value to be false, because whenever you load the page, the application will be not be fetching data, so that's why it will be false. And now inside this function, we are changing this to true. So now in the try catch block, we need to make the HTTP call. So you'll be using the fetch API for this. So we are defining a simple get API call to this endpoint, and then we need to actually change our data to JSON. So we will convert this response to JSON by using this function, and then whatever is the data coming, we'll be setting the user to that. You can even console log the data just to check in the console. So if you refresh your browser, go to inspect element and check the console, you will receive an object. You will see you're receiving this object. It contains this results property, and inside the result property, we get the random user data, gender, ID, location, login name, date of birth, everything. So we just need to store the result property. So data.results 0. We are only saving the this one. So again, we'll be reset the set loading to false like this. And now to actually show this data in the JSX, we will wrap everything using the container element of React Bootstrap. And we will be using the class name, which is this one. These are all Bootstrap classes. And inside this H2, we will simply say random user profile, and I will just give it a class name of text center. We will align the heading in the center, and inside this we will basically, depending upon the value of loading, which is a Boolean parameter, if the value is true, in that case we will show this data. We just show this progress bar is little spinner, that it's a Bootstrap spinner progress bar, and in this paragraph we will simply say that loading. But if the loading parameter is false, in that case we need to show the data, and again here we will be comparing if the user is available. In that case we need to show the user details in this web page. So we'll be giving these Bootstrap classes justify content center just to make alignment in the center position. So in the call we will give it a medium property of 6. So you'll show the user information in the card like structure using the card component of Bootstrap. So card, and inside this card component we have to show the profile picture. So for this we are using card image component, and it takes the variant property to be top. We need to show the top position, and in the source inside curly bracket we will show the user profile picture, which is located inside user picture dot large. So if you refresh here, you will now see the picture appearing every time. If you load the page, a different user will load. And now we just also need to show the information about the user. So in the card body, and we will define the card title, which will contain the username. So you'll simply say user.name.first. So you will see the name appearing. So what we will do, we will also print out the first and the last name. So for this, we will simply concatenate like this. Inside curly bracket, you will see. And now to show additional information, we will also be showing the email address, the location, everything. So all these things are available. You will see we are showing it, the email of the user, phone number, location, everything, the country. So if you see now, this information is appearing. So at last we will love to have a button which, so when we click the button, a new random user will pop. So we will give it a primary, which will be a blue button. So we bind an on-click listener. So whenever you click, we will again call the same function fetch random user. So the label of the button will be simply load new user. So this completes the application. We have a button. So whenever you click the button, it will make a new HTTP REST API call to the API, and it will again load a new user and display it. So in this way, you can create this awesome looking simple application, a random user generator application in React.js using this API and using fetch API. So thank you very much for watching this video, and do check out my website as well, freemediatools.com, which contains thousands of free tools regarding audio, video, and image. And I will be seeing you in the next video.